Guys, Miss Acton teaching you writing this week. This week, writing is going to be a little bit different and hopefully not easier. We're going to do less work, but the work's going to be really important. So instead of doing 5 things that are kind of hard, you're going to be doing 1 or 2 things every day that are really making you use your brain to really think about and test yourself to see what you know. And we're going to be using these things called mentor sentences. So we're going to be building up every day on what we do and eventually moving to where we're going to know how to use these things called plural possessive nouns, which I'm talking about right there. So I'm going to present this slide. We're going to move from this slideshow to Jamboard where Miss Acton can write on there to show you what you're going to be doing today. So working with plural possessive nouns, we're going to talk about what the word possessive means tomorrow and how you're going to be using plural possessive nouns in your writing by Friday or by Thursday, the end of the week. So what are we going to be doing together? Us together, we will break down parts of a sentence to find things familiar to me, to you, to everybody. We're going to find things that are familiar to us, which means they're things that you know about, things that you've seen before, things that other teachers have taught you, things you're comfortable with talking about. Then you on your own are going to break down parts of the exact same sentence and you're going to find other things that you find familiar about it too. All right, so this is the passage that Miss Acton is talking about. So it's about this lady named Harriet Tubman. If you do not know about Harriet Tubman, you can either pause this video and read through this passage or have an adult read through it to you. Or if you want to go to YouTube and try to find a video, my only pointer to use when you type in Harriet Tubman for kids. That way you're not popping up something that might be a little bit inappropriate and your family will get upset with you. But she's a really awesome woman that helped save a lot of people. And if you don't know who she is, I would do some research really quick just so you're really invested in the sentence that we're pulling out. So the sentence I highlighted in green right here is going to be what we're going to be pulling from this. So before we get to this sentence, it's talking about how Harriet Tubman was a slave. So that means that she worked on a farm and did things that she did not get paid for, was mistreated, and it was not okay, and she had enough. And then Harriet made a plan. So Harriet plans to use the Underground Railroad, which was a group of safe homes in hidden places to help slaves travel north to freedom. So she lived in the South in the United States. She wanted to escape freedom, so she went to the Underground Railroad, which were houses that belonged to people, hidden places, and basically these people would hide slaves from their slave owners. So their slave owners would come, knock on the door. Hey, is Harriet Tubman here? I don't know what you're talking about. And they would be hidden in the floor, in a basement, in an attic, in a hidden room. And they would hide these people. And they would just keep traveling north, 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 up, and up to where they would make it to a state where they were free. Harriet Tubman did this, got her freedom, and then she spent the rest of most of her life traveling back down to the South and getting slaves and taking them back up to the North. And actually, later in this passage, it even says that she went down and helped her father and her mother escape too when she did, which is pretty cool. So, what you're going to be doing is writing on this page right here. So it's going to be on a draw it slide on your Nearpod, and you're going to be filling in stuff on these I noticed cards, telling me things that you've noticed about this sentence. I'm going to show you how to do that on a Jamboard really quick so you're not confused. So when we're looking at Harriet's plan to use the Underground Railroad, a group of safe homes and hidden places that help slaves travel north to freedom. That's a pretty big sentence, so I already see a bunch of things that I already noticed. So I'm going to grab this pen tool right here. Actually, I'm going to grab a Post-it note first. I feel like that'll make it look cleaner. So the first thing that I noticed was there is a period at the end. So I'm going to slap that down right here. There's a period at the end of this. Any sentence that you see in a passage that an adult has written for a child like you guys to read, it better have punctuation at the end of the sentences. That's one thing that I noticed. Hopefully, any sentence that you ever see in anything that you ever read, you will see either a period, exclamation mark, or a question mark at the end. You'll see punctuation at the end. And I can even go back to that Post-it note instead of just saying period, I could even change it to punctuation. That is a big word at the end. There's always going to be punctuation at the end of a sentence. All right. Something else that I noticed, I'm going to grab another Post-it note, is there is a comma, which if you remember Miss Acton teaching you guys about commas in a series where we talk about a list of more than 2 things. I'm going to have to weasel this pen in here. There it is, that comma right there. So it's separating this sentence from this sentence. We use commas a lot in our writing, and those are one of those things that we really practice hard in 2nd grade, even though we really haven't had a chance to do it too much with you guys being out of school, not having, pencil and paper at home. But hopefully when we get back to in person, those of you that are coming back, we can practice that more, okay? So hopefully you're noticing some things in here. So there are two more things that I really, really, really want you to notice, but I don't want to keep going with the rest of these. So I'm going to kind of grab stuff that's more silly, but still things that you notice. So one thing that I'm going to say is that I notice that there's a capital letter. And there might be more than one capital letter. I'm just going to point at the one that's less important. Capital letter right there, capital U, and a capital R later on too right here, because the Underground Railroad wasn't just a normal path that people followed. It was the actual name of that path that people followed to their freedom. So if it's an actual person's or an actual thing's name, you have to capitalize it to show that it's important. There's also another capital letter, hint, hint, another capital letter, wink, wink, that I want you to notice when you're about to do this on the next slide. And there's also another symbol, like a period and a comma, that Miss Acton did not point out, that hopefully you find in this that you can have as your notice. And then maybe you'll find something else in here that you notice too. I think there's 3 post-it notes in that thing. So you've got one right here. So I want you to notice 3 more things. And it could be something as simple that I noticed that the word places has an S at the end. You can be kind of silly with that. But there are 2 more things that I really want you to notice in this passage that I want you to show me that you notice that Miss Acton didn't show you in this previous one. So try to find that for me, kind of like that hidden tool. All right, good luck. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Bye.